presentation. Thank you all for being here. If you don't mind just kind of gathering around, we would love to share about ourselves, and the artists will have special people presenting tonight. So thank you all for being here. Thank you. Wow, great. Hi everyone, I'm Leora Spunko. I'm the Executive Director of Lane Arts Council, and as you may know, Lane Arts Council is celebrating 40 years this year in 2016. So, woo, yes! 40 years of supporting artists and arts organizations, and 40 years of partnering with people like you who make a difference in our community. So that's why we've got the balloons and the hats, and we're celebrating tonight, and we'll be celebrating 40 years throughout 2016. So stay tuned for more information about our 40th anniversary. You know, it's really amazing to think about the work that we've done all these years. The work that we've done in schools and providing arts education to young people and giving them access to creativity and self-expression. Now those young people aren't so young anymore, and they're all grown up and doing great things in the world, and the artists that get to be a part of First Friday Art Walk and that get to talk about their art and talk about their inspiration as an artist. And here, you know, at Art Walk, that we get to gather together every month. You know, sometimes people are afraid to walk into galleries you might know about, and so the Art Walk provides access to the community to be part of a gallery and to really learn about the arts and participate in the arts, and we get to gather as a community. So it's no small thing, you know. Turning 40 is no small thing, and I really, you know, this morning I was looking through old newsletters. The oldest one I think I had was from 1989, and I was looking back in our history and reading all these names of people. So many of you are in the room, of people who have been part of Lane Arts Council and made a difference, whether you were a staff person or on the board or a donor or on a committee, an artist. And so so congratulations to you. You know, congratulations to this community for really continuing to make the arts alive in this community and make it important, and we will continue to do that. We will continue to partner, so we're looking forward to another 40 years at least, so thank you for that. So I'm honored to host the Art Walk this month. I get to do that about once a year, so be sure to pick up an Art Walk guide. We are going to go to 5 fabulous locations this year. Jessica has Art Walk guides in the back. We want to thank Off the Waffle for sponsoring this Art Walk. And you must know they have wonderful waffles in 2 locations. So thank you, Off the Waffle, for being our January Art Walk sponsor. And another special thing to note, Oregon Contemporary Theater is giving out free tickets to their January 16th performance of the last 5 years. Mariana is here, so please give her, you can write down your name and phone number, and we will be drawing, we'll be drawing twice throughout the Art Walk, and we'll have 2 people win tickets tonight, so make sure you see Mariana. So really why we're all here gathering at the Jacobs Gallery, because we wanted to honor this important space in our community. As you all know, we all love the Jacobs Gallery and the contribution that it has had in lots of our lives. And again, so many of you in this room have contributed your time and your heart and your soul to this space. And it's such an important space. You know, thousands and thousands of people come into this space every year, and hundreds of artists, and I don't know how many shows, and so many memories. And so we are here. We wanted to start here particularly today to honor the Jacobs Gallery and their final show here, this Small Pleasures Invitational, and really thank everyone who's been part of this space and helping just be such an exceptional contribution. So thank you all, to the board, to the staff, to the artists. I just want to give a round of applause and thank you guys for all your work. You know, even though this Jacobs Gallery will not continue, it has a long-lasting legacy in our hearts forever. So to honor that, we have special people from the community that have been part of the Jacobs Gallery that will speak about their involvement and what the Jacobs Gallery has meant to them. So I'd like to start with John Rose.
Thank you, Leora. Congratulations for the Arts Council.
Thank you.
I was part of the original kind of forming group, the Visual Arts Consortium, that did organize with the city this wonderful blending of responsibilities. The city doing what it could, and then citizens doing what they could to create and maintain the gallery. My notes are more about today, I guess. I'll just go into what I've prepared here. The gallery's difficulties make me wonder if there isn't something in the tenor of the times that prevents more widespread support. The week that the board announced its decision, the Eugene Weekly ran 2 guest editorial viewpoints. In one, John O'Malley states that he has never visited the gallery, and then he goes on to slam it. His recommendations, businesses as both venues and curator. While we all appreciate businesses that show artwork, ultimately the art shown, often in less than ideal conditions, is art in service to the company ambience, to the company identity. The second viewpoint by Courtney Stubert was more considered. His recommendations: find a venue, market yourself, publicize your event, work hard at your art. The Jacobs Gallery provides venue, it helps with marketing, and it provides publicity. He claims that you don't need an institution, but fails to note a number of pricey and helpful benefits that Jacobs Gallery provides. Installation, lighting, pedestals and other display materials, staffing, volunteers, sales, exposure to a larger audience. In the exchange of the space, the cost of utilities, and minimal city staff time for a professionally managed gallery, the city comes out ahead. I am troubled by reports that some city cultural services staff want to see the gallery gone. But here we get back to the tenor of the times. I predict that at next week's community meeting to discuss options for the space, the art for art's sake type of recommendations will prove a hard sell. Those aligning with tie-ins to technology companies, branding such as Eugene as Tracktown USA, and the commendable effort of the Chamber of Commerce to work more closely with the arts will be seen as more favorable. These are, in essence, art in service to company identity, art in service to business interests. Let's appreciate the Jacobs Gallery for what it is. It's a space open to all, focused on the artwork, exhibiting the artwork very well. It's really that simple. So thank you to the board, the staff, volunteers, artists, and to our city.
Thank you, John. I'd now like to welcome Barbara Harris. She was the first director of the Jacobs Gallery.
I was wondering if you'd be okay if Tina
Absolutely.
and I were up here together.
And Tina Rinaldi,
Okay.
the second director of the Jacobs Gallery. Welcome.
And you can kind of talk to us, ask us questions if you like. So, yes, my name is Barbara Harris. I was the first gallery director once it was literally cut from the city budget. Back, I've seen all these people I know, I haven't seen in ages. Back in, when was I hired? 1996 as related to Measure, was it 50? Yeah, five. And it was, I was hired just out of the Arts Administration program, and I worked as the gallery director for almost 5 years. I kind of say I did 5 Mayor's Art shows. And it was a real critical time. John's already mentioned that the Visual Arts Consortium was critical in making the gallery be saved. And so it started its second life. And the other 2 critical organizations that did this public-private partnership, now the gallery is its own 501c3, so that changed after I left. But it was the Holt Center, the city of Eugene, essentially, that gave us the space and the use of that. And then the Lane Arts Council. And I had my office over at the Lane Arts Council, which was in a different spot. It was in the Center Court building, in a kind of horrible space, but it was where we had it. So I can remember the first show I put up here. I was scared to death. I had to do all the labels, and it probably wasn't the best looking show, but then we eventually got that, systematized and figured out. But working with the artists and working with the people and really working with the new volunteers that had saved the gallery was just an essence to keep it going, and it really is special to my heart that I was a part of that bridge. And so I'm going to turn it over to you. Did you follow me?
I did.
Yeah. I couldn't
in many ways.
Yeah. Yes, you did, actually. If you want to say how we first met, that'd be kind of fun. But so I'm going to turn it over to you because you have kind of a perspective that kind of bridges the next round of things with that.
So I still acted as a bridge because during the years that I was the director of the Jacobs Gallery, it still existed in that public-private partnership. There was no 501c3 organization that is now known as the Jacobs Gallery nonprofit organization. However, I was able to work with the board and with the city council to get some city funding back to the gallery during the time that I was the director. That happened in the last year. Dottie Chase was involved in that, and a number of other people who I don't think are associated with the gallery anymore or have since moved on to other planes, shall we say. So that was really great. And then I was also able to, thankfully, although it changed in a weird way recently that's so regrettable, I was able to secure office space at the Jacobs Gallery. And I spent the last 2 weeks that I was the director basically moving and kind of getting used to the little shoebox on the catwalk, which was kind of a cool little space because it was originally intended for stagehands and whatnot, so there was a speaker, you could hear what was going on the stage, so that was kind of fun. And then after I left, there were a couple of interim directors, and then eventually Bev took over. Where is Bev? There she is. So Bev was here for a while, or well, 10 years, a long while, longer than both of us put together. So a very long while, because I left 10 years ago and have been at the University of Oregon since then. And so it's been great. And so the ways in which I followed Barb is that I also graduated with my master's degree in arts management from the University of Oregon, and it was my first job out of the program. Before that, I had worked in other galleries and cultural centers, and I had started my own nonprofit organization, which I ran for a number of years. And I can tell you, it's a lot of hard work. Not only being responsible when you form something, which this board, many of them are still the founding members of this nonprofit organization, it can become exhausting. It's not a small task to run a gallery like this. And so while I appreciate some of the comments that were made prior to us about artists I think the message there was artists kind of don't get it, right? That galleries are kind of necessary because there's so much that goes into displaying and promoting work. And unfortunately, it's a little bit exhausting. And if you don't have a lot of support in the community to do that work, you become exhausted to the point of burnout. And I think, unfortunately, that's what's happened. I mean, it happened to me as the director. I ostensibly worked half-time. I was paid half-time. I'll tell you, I worked more than half-time. And I was also teaching 5 classes a year at the same time at the University of Oregon and running the gallery. So I couldn't sustain that, and Barb was in a similar situation, and so there are real and true sustainability issues when it comes to running a nonprofit organization. I don't want to get depressing, but it was great years. I mean, I met so many wonderful people. I became connected to this community in a way that I hadn't been before. I've been in Eugene for 22 years, and 10 years ago, the whole community opened up to me, or 15 years ago, the community opened up to me in a way that it hadn't the 7 years prior to that because I worked here. And so that was great, and I really appreciated it. And when Bob invited me to speak, it took me a very long time to get back to him because I didn't want it to be true, so I didn't want to say yes, because then I'd have to acknowledge what's happening. But I didn't want to say no, because then I'd feel like a giant heel, right? So after about a week and a half, I finally responded with that, telling him, sorry it's taken me so long, I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no.
I think you said maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, and here I am. And under sad circumstances, so I'm sorry, that's the best I can do. We will find a way in the visual arts, though, won't we? Yes.
I want to thank you both for your service and your commitment to the arts and all that you have done for this gallery, and also Bev Sosi, who's been here 10 years, but she told me she's been part 25 years of this gallery.
For sure.
So thank you to all the directors, all this board. Thank you all for your heart in this work. So so that is
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That kind of concludes this presentation. We do want you to stick around. There's many artists here that are part of this beautiful exhibit. So hang around and enjoy the gallery. We will be moving to our second stop in a few minutes, the Karen Clark Gallery. So you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to join us as we move along the tour. And yeah, we will be seeing you soon. Thank you.
is Richard Guy. Tom found out that I was playing today and decided to take the afternoon off, so he and his wife are enjoying the beach today. This group is the Chameleon Quartet. We're going to play a number of trio sonatas and an interesting suite by a French composer.
Thank you.